quick little video, as tomorrow this should be coming down. And once that's down, they're supposed to be cutting it off sort of roughly around here to give me room for a bit of leverage, so I can cut it out of the ground here and clear that space. This will move, and these fruit trees, or at least two of them, possibly all three, but at least two of those will move over here, so kind of like there, maybe here, and then I've got the apple tree here, of which the fruit is still coming along nicely. Anyway, I'll probably film a bit more tomorrow once it's done for a bit of progress. So there's a distinct absence of something here now. I actually just went to the shops because I thought they were coming at 12:45. It turns out they'd finished the previous job a bit sooner, so they came and took down the tree while I was gone. They're still here when I got back, so I got to sort of chat with them a bit. Obviously, the slight difference, it was meant to be cut off about here for me to have something to leverage out, but I'll dig around that and I'll remove that. But considering there's no damage to anything else around here, I'd say it's exceptionally good work. So for anyone who's interested, that's Rapid Tree Solutions in Ballarat. Very happy with that work, very happy. The slow progress of removing the stump. I found the first big root roughly around there, so I'm just going to get my crowbar out and basically break through it. Starting to get a bit of a dig around it. What I tend to do is I start with a smallish ring and then expand out as required to get around the roots. It is going to be a bit tricky without having something for leverage to push the stump over, but if I can find enough of the roots around here and break them, I can probably put the crowbar under it to leverage it, but we shall see how we go. So the first of the roots has been broken. So there's one there, another one over there. Yet more here. You can see the bend in the crowbar. That's from previous work doing this, but the idea is if you can keep jamming it down, it's basically almost like an axe head to the tip of it there, and you can break through the root, especially if you can manage to hit basically the same spot. Otherwise you kind of get either side and eventually cuts out a wedge. As you can hear, it's a bit of breathless work. So there's one here I'm going to work on. There's another one over there. I think there might be another one in between there. And then once those are out, and it might even be cutting back this way and cutting them off around here, it'll be a case of trying to find a point of leverage to see if I can get any movement out of it, and that should either indicate where the subsequent roots may be, or if I'm really lucky, it'll just start moving. But it's probably a fair bit of work left to do yet. I'll get back to it. Day 2 progress update. So, have made progress. A number of the roots have been broken. This is the latest one. I'll give you an idea of the thickness that we're working with there. Probably going to try and break through this bit here. I think there's another main one there, and then I'll more or less call it a day. But what I do at the end of all this process is get the hose, so useful if you're not in water restriction or anything, but basically with the hose I wash or spray, rinse, jet around the base of the tree trunk. The theory being it'll clear it away enough that I can see any obvious roots that are remaining, and that gives me an idea as to what I have to work with when I next tackle it, because it usually takes a while to let the water dry off, but that's where we're at the moment. Okay, excuse the wind. Just to give you a bit of a quick look at what it's like before being sprayed with water. So you see there's a really big chunk of dirt in there. This is all going to end up basically muddy, so you probably won't be able to see anything after it, but it can be quite useful. So hopefully you can see that it's a bit easier to see around the bits and pieces and get a sense of where the joins are. I suspect there's probably a taproot under there, and that's going to be interesting to get to because it means going in sideways. Not impossible, just it's going to be a bit of a nuisance, but that might mean the whole thing gets dug out a bit wider to give better access, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But for the moment, that's day 2 done. Day 3, excuse the power tool sound in the background. I've even got the little shovel out this time, a little hand trowel, to try and dig into there a bit more. So water's obviously helped clear a lot of it, but I want to see if I can dig right into there and see if indeed there's a taproot, more or less sort of straight down from it, which is probably roughly what the situation is. It's quite a bit warmer today, so I've got some sunscreen on, and we'll see how long I last. I'm not sure how obvious the difference is, but dug into there a bit, dug down there a bit, cleared out more of this, as I believe I said I would, make it a bit wider. There were some roots holding on over there that were quite, now my arms that way, over that way, that were quite resistant, so I've just broken those, and I might end up carving out this way a bit more. It looks, at the moment, like I'll probably be doing it this way when it comes time to leverage it, although actually that's a big bit of stump, so unless I'm cutting that off, maybe it will go that way. We'll see. Anyway, there is, I'm pretty sure, a route going down there. But I think there's also one down here that I'm going to need to cut, I think because it goes on an angle. I have to get in there. There's probably one around there as well. I'll see how much longer I go, but it's where I'm thankful that I made my bench. I think it's about 2 meters long, because it's creating a nice bit of shade. I've been lying down on here when I've needed a rest from this. And excuse the hoons. Anyway, I'll get back to it. Okay, I'm calling digging done for the day. So let's show a quick bit before hosing it down. As you can see there, it goes quite a way under. It's under the actual main stump. Pretty sure there's still one there. Might be another one over there. That I think still has a connection. There's definitely a connection there. I think I've severed it on that portion, but it's still connected here. There's probably more to it anyway. Anywho, I shall now try and spray some of the loose stuff away to see what we're dealing with. So its current state, it might not show how useful it is, but you may be able to see that you can see a fair bit further under there, which gives an indication as to where the roots are. If we duck it across this way, again it sort of clears around here and kind of under there, and then once of course the water settles and probably clear off the muddy layer, should be a bit clearer again. I'm thinking this bit here, I'll cross back over, that might be the one that I take off next, because if worst case scenario I might be able to actually cut through that with my pruning saw and then maybe do the rest of the crowbar, but that might also give me a point to lever from, because I think even if this one's in with that out, I don't think there's much over this side, and if there is it'll probably be smaller, because you can see from the root sizes it's obviously focused on this area. And then maybe I can start rocking it, and at the very least, if I can rock it, that should expose any of the other roots and give me a better angle to get them with the crowbar, because the crowbar of course is mostly a downward tool in this instance, but some of the roots, they go straight down, or they might go down and then across, but there's a lot of them that are down, and so for those I have to take an angle for them, but it's getting there. If nothing else, it's another pond. It gives you a bit of an idea as to the scale of it. Obviously that's a sort of fairly reasonable sized bath, and that's the current state of that. The mound of dirt presently there. If I stand in there now, I'm roughly up to my knee at ground level, and I'm about 6'1", so I don't know if that really helps the scale, but it's a decent hole. But that's enough for today, because I'm worn out and I need to make dinner at some point, and I need something cold and refreshing for the moment. That's actually just going to be yogurt. It's nothing fancy. So I'm going to head off and do that, and I'll catch you up when I continue work on this. Okay, so I think we're on day 4 of the extraction. I've just dug a little bit of the the soil out. I don't know if you can see there, but that gives an indication of the sort of stuff I'm working with. This is very clay-rich soil, especially at that depth. And got to get through a bunch of that. And I said yesterday I'll probably try and cut through this one. And it looks like that might be worth trying to cut through as well. And we shall see how we go. It's supposed to be about 25 degrees today. Tomorrow is similar, but also rain, so I might actually take tomorrow off, even if I don't get this out today, which I probably won't. There's still a fair bit left. We'll see how we go. Okay. I don't know how clear it's going to be. Not very well, so, but I've managed to clear out under here a bit, and there's definitely at least one taproot going down in there. So the issue is I have to work at an angle to get that. It's a bit fiddly, but that should help. Excuse the shadow. That looks like it's still going to be an issue, because I'm pretty sure that is at least still mostly connected. I think I might have chopped some of the edge off, but there's still this bit here, so that could take a bit. And again, the shadow. This part here, I think, is still connected down. It's chipped away a bit, and there's not too much more at the back of it, so that's not too bad. And then we can deal with that later. Right, quick breather. I'm going to try and angle in on this bit here. Okay, I'm puffed. The day's getting hot, but I did get rid of that bit there. And you can see there's still a bit of work to be done under there. Getting rid of roots. This bit just here is probably a good bit to do next. And then this whole side is a good point to lever against, because there's nothing holding it. There's nothing holding it up after those bits. Well, after I get that little bit out from under there as well. Then it's a case of seeing about this part. Debating if I get the circular saw out. It's not ideal, because it's obviously not what it's made for. And it's a bit dangerous doing that, so I probably won't. But if I use my pruning saw to make some marks in it, I can sort of angle my way through and sort of take wedges out. Then I'll probably cut it through that way. But for the moment, I'm just going to dislodge some more of this stuff with the crowbar, because obviously clay is a bit hard to move even with a jet of water. I'll try and get as much of the stuff out as possible, because that gives the water more area to drain down to, and that'll clear more of the undercarriage, as it were, and give me a better working environment. But yes, I'll leave that for the moment. You know, you've made some reasonable progress when you can see light through the underside of it. What that also shows me is that that's probably actually the stump that I should focus on next. Excuse the car. Oop. Oop. So, yes. So get rid of that one. Then I can probably sort of start leveraging it this way. I may still need to cut these, but at least you can see now there's actually two parts that actually splits off. So it makes it a bit more feasible. Actually, you can see it splits off again. So it starts as a big one and then splits as it goes down. So that might be a bit more manageable lower down. But that's it for today. So that's, I think, day 4 we're on. I said I'll probably take tomorrow off because it's going to be raining, supposedly. But we shall see how we go. That's it for now.